Hello, and welcome to another episode of The End of the Search. This one I call it, Is Life Written in Stone? It's based on a comment somebody made, and the comment is it true, as far as you know, that the amount of money a person will have is written in stone before they are born? That's a crucial assertion, it seems. I have an open mind about that possibility, but it's certainly a minority view. Okay, this is not something I said. I didn't say that the amount of money a person will have is written in stone before they are born. This is a comment somebody made before, in which I made a video about it, and I shared what the person was saying, and then I shared what I wrote to that person as well, and then I elaborate a bit. However, because it's been written in this particular sense, this is what I will always say. Yes, I have said that life is unfolding, and if you have any questions about if you have free will or not, well, there is a video that I made, which the link is on the description. I suggest you watch that video because I go in detail so that you can say that that idea of free will can be actually easily questioned. So technically speaking, if life is unfolding and we don't have the freedom, so to speak, to choose, it could be said that if you're predestined to live a particular life, that's the way it's going to happen, end of story. Now, what I would like to say is that let's not get caught into that, because that is not going to help you. That is not going to serve at all. I've said in videos, and I've said it over again, if you believe that you have the choice and you can make your dreams come true and live the life that you want to live, I'm the first one who say go for it. That's fine. If you truly believe that, be my guest. I'm not going to argue with you. If for some reason you find that life does not seem to unfold the way you think you want it, well, there's another possibility, and that's when these videos comes in. These videos are not about telling you what you can or cannot do. They're pointing to the possibility that you can live a happy and peaceful life in spite of what your present circumstances, when you know who you are. You see? So this particular comment, I mean, if I engage in that, and then it's just going to be sharing opinions, you believe one thing and I may believe another one. I'm not saying that this person believe anything in particular. I'm just talking in general. So, and then what? You see? That's why when I look at, for example, the Advaita Vedanta, and you look at A Course in Miracles have its own way of explaining how this seeming separation might have occurred, which have nothing to do with God. You see? And yet, the Advaita Vedanta suggests that if God is all that there is, then this must be a creation or a projection from God. But that argument is not going to help me when it comes down to living a happy life, because it keeps it in the mind. However, both point to the fact that I am. Both point to the fact that what you are is not this body. This is a projection. It's a dream. And the way we can actually bring this down to something that you can actually digest and it's something that you can actually experience is very simple. If you don't believe the content of the mind, also knowing that that's not going to happen because I'm suggesting it, if it's supposed to happen through you, it will happen through you. So you see, this is the idea that do we have really the freedom to make that choice? Again, that's a paradox we're going to have to learn to live with. I've said this before, I've heard this many years ago. At the same time that we seem to be the actor, the producer, the protagonist, of this play, at the same time, we play extra on a much bigger play. So, I don't have an issue with the paradox. All I know is that when I wake up in the morning, the play begins, I see how it unfolds. But going back to this comment here, Let's not get caught in this idea that everything is written in stone. Forget about it. Act as if you think that you can actually make choices while simultaneously you know that choices are made through you. I'm acting as if I have the choice of making this video and put it online while simultaneously I know that this is just happening and I have no control over it. I have no say into that. You see? So, assuming or acting as if life is using this seeming instrument to share information and that you seems to be an instrument that is receiving it, but in reality, I'm not saying anything to you. This is just all that, whatever you want to call it, talking to itself. When you're sleeping and you're dreaming, you can have two people talking, you and somebody else. But that you and that somebody else, they come from you, capital Y, from the only mind that there is. So again, this unfolding this way, let's not get caught up into details about if everything is written in stone or not, because that can even lead to concern and fear and depression or whatever. No, just make it simpler. Right now, if you don't believe the content of the mind, if you don't believe your thoughts, what remains? What remains is beingness. And beingness is always been. Beingness is prior to the thought appearing. Beingness is while the thought seems to appear. And beingness is after the thought leaves. And yet you remained. You see? This is not theoretical. This is very practical. Right now you're being, aren't you? So right now, don't believe anything the thoughts may suggest. Nothing. Just be. And what remains? What remains? Beingness, right? This is all there is to it. Pure beingness. We're resting in beingness. If you don't believe the content of the mind, if you don't believe the thoughts, you see, then beingness is all that there is. And let me ask you this. Can beingness be affected by any thoughts? You see? The answer is obvious. Beingness cannot be affected by any thoughts. But if you believe any thoughts that may suggest that I am feel this or feel that, but whatever, you're just reacting to the thoughts. But beingness is just the substratum. Beingness is it's what is, while these thoughts seems to appear in beingness. So we're pointing here to beingness. If you go identify with the thoughts are the one who's going to suggest that, everything is written in stone, or I believe things are written in stone, or I don't believe things are written in stone. And but that's all thoughts. This is what I'm pointing to. So we go back to this. We're not going back to anything. We are here always. We're being always. You see? And if something is written in stone or not, I just make it very simple. It's a mystery. I don't know what is the next syllable that is going to happen, that I'm going to say. Was that written in stone? Maybe. I don't know if I will turn into a millionaire before I even know it, because I either win the lottery or one of my books becomes a bestseller and millions of people buy it, or I may never have or I will always have enough just to make ends meet. Well, to me, make ends meet, I'd rather say just to have what I need for the moment. I don't know. That's a mystery. But I don't have to be concerned whether it's written in stone or not, because again, that's the mind. All I know is that I am. See? All I know is that this moment is all that there is. I don't know if you can hear, but there's fireworks right now in you can hear. Well, this is just happening. You see? It's all happening. Life is happening. And if I don't believe the content of the mind, I am at peace even while the fireworks are being happening. You see? I'm at peace with what is. And this is practical. This is not esoteric. This is literally, you can see it. In spite of what may be happening right now, take a deep breath. We're not coping here. We're not avoiding. We're not trying to suppress anything. We're just looking at a fact. And the fact is that if I don't believe the content of the mind, what remains? See, what remains is what is. That isness never changes. That isness is permanent. And you are that. And in that isness may come up this idea of, if everything's written in stone, I don't know. And in that isness also shows up the, I don't know. See, everything seems to be a manifestation in the isness. The words that are being said, the sounds that are being heard, seems to be heard, the pictures, the image, everything seems to is a manifestation in the isness, in that which is, and you are that. Rest in that. You see, just being. It's not you, person, who's resting in that. That's something I have to reiterate all the time, because again, it's very easy. The mind gets into, okay, I am doing this. No, you're not doing anything. You're being. You're being always. That's never going to change. That's permanent. When there's identification with the thoughts, then the seeming change, we identify with the changing, and that's when all the trouble comes in. And that's when, the thought says, is everything written in stone or not? And if it's written in stone, implies that I will never be able to do and be. I just make it very simple. This is all that there is right now. Isn't it? As our beloved sailor Bob Adamson used to say, well, then what's wrong with right now unless you think about it? You see? What's wrong with right now unless you believe any thoughts that are evaluating the right now? And I can say the opposite. What is right with right now unless you think about it? See, there's no right, there's no wrong. All that there is what is. And what is always is peace. And I don't like to use the word peace because the mind associated with a particular feeling. I'm talking about the sense of being. The sense of being is total acceptance of what is. And that's what love is, actually. Love is unconditional. Love is total acceptance of what is. Love judges not. Love doesn't say this yes and not this. No, love is. I've heard somebody once says that the sun is shining unconditionally and it shines on everything. It shines on the beautiful things and on the ugly things. Again, beautiful and ugly are just basically judgments. But again, this is just for the sake of language. I mean, it shines indiscriminately on anything. It doesn't matter. Well, love is like that, and you are love. Love is total acceptance of what is. And the only thing that seems to be an obstacle to that, however, because love even accepts the thought that is an obstacle to that. Because there's nothing that love is not. You see? Again, don't associate love with a feeling or a sensation. I'm pointing to the fact love is. You are love. You are that. And that's all that there is. And well, this is inspiration that came through. I hope it served. And as always, may peace permeate the mind so that love can become evident.